The Chicago Bears may stink, but they have a quarterback, and right now, that's all that matters. Bears Now is presented by Roan. Upgrade your wardrobe today at roan.com/chatsports. Code chatsports, get you 20% off. All right, let's talk about the quarterback. Caleb Williams is balling. He's put together 2 really good games in a row against division rivals, against 2 good defenses, Green Bay, and especially yesterday against Minnesota. Thought it was his best game of the year. And he's really found his stride here these last couple of weeks with Thomas Brown. We'll kind of talk about him at points in this video as well, but the numbers speak for themselves. But I think even more than that, you just watch him play, and we'll kind of get into this a little bit more as well, but you see the confidence growing. You see him throwing the ball with no fear whatsoever. He's played like a guy that goes number 1 overall these last few weeks. And we saw it at times earlier in the season as well during that 3-game winning streak, but against 2 high-level teams, he has played extraordinarily well. He's played winning football. Now, the Bears haven't won for a variety of reasons, but you guys can figure out what those are. But you should be very excited about what you've seen the last couple of weeks. I know I am. Hopefully you guys are as well. I kind of wanted to just show some props to Caleb, talk about why he's playing well, and why I feel good about him moving forward. All right, thank you guys so much for 109,000 subscribers. We hit that milestone during our watch party yesterday, so shout out to all of you. Next step is 110,000, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you guys to do so. It's 100% free. We'll bring you daily content. We'll be live again this afternoon around 4 o'clock Central Time, so if you want daily Bears YouTube videos, analysis, reaction to everything going on, we got you covered. All you got to do is subscribe today. All right, let's get to the quarterback here as a few things I want to point out here for why Caleb Williams is balling out. And number 1, Thomas Brown has freed him up. There's no doubt about that. You see it with how he's playing. You see it with the results, but you also just listen to what the quarterback says. Here's what he said about Thomas Brown. He says, "I really do think it's just how he is has helped. It's just I don't want to use this word, but aura, I guess, you know? He has a certain aura to him that he just allows you to play free. Being able to play free, last game throughout the whole game, he's talking to me, communicating with me, and then today when it gets to 2-minute and before overtime, he's saying, now it's time to go be Superman." This is how you coach Caleb Williams. You coach him hard, you be direct, which is what Thomas Brown is, and you have expectations like run the offense and know where the hots are, which Caleb talked about, play within the flow, but play free. When it's time to go make a play, pick your spots. And we've seen that a lot the last couple of weeks. Need to scramble for a first down? Cool. Need to just go into backyard mode, hurdle a defender who's on the ground on a 4th down, get to the 6 and move the chains? Cool. If you want to play within the flow of the offense and rip those over the middle to move drives along, that's good as well. But you have to encourage him to be the playmaker that he is when it's appropriate. You can't just make him into this robotic quarterback that it seemed like he was falling into with the Shane Waldron thing. And look, I've ripped the Bears for not firing Eberflus, but at least they got Waldron out because it was going in a bad way for a few weeks there. And now things are back on track. They've looked better than ever with him. And it's like, yeah, this is why you took him number 1 overall, because he is a big-time player with his arm and his legs, and it's got me fired up. Is Thomas Brown on your short list of head coach candidates? I want to know from you guys. Type Y for yes, type in for no, because it's becoming an interesting discussion. I wish they would make him the interim, but I don't think they're going to go that route. Is he on your short list, though, of guys you would make the head coach? Y for yes or in for no. All right, Bears Now is sponsored by Roan. I want to tell you a little bit more about today's sponsor, rocking one of their polos today. And listen, fall is kind of concluding. We're getting into winter, which it's time to add some layers, which you can with Roan. You can throw on one of their polos, and then maybe you throw a little blazer on top, or maybe you go to the long sleeve commuter shirt, because their commuter collection reinvented the male's closet, and it gives you a lot of different options as the weather starts to change. What I really like about Roan is it's going to get you fitted for every occasion. If it's hot outside, you want to go play some golf, hey, rock one of the short sleeve polos, some of their shorts, you can go do that. You need to get fitted up for an important business meeting or a wedding or a funeral, whatever the case may be, is you have to look sharp. They're going to get you fitted for that as well with their long sleeve button downs. They're really comfortable pants that are very appropriate for that as well. You get one of their blazers on top. Also, they're going to have you covered for every situation. Their 4-way stretch fabric makes it very comfortable, especially if you're someone who's on the move a lot, which I tend to be. Rhone.com/chatsports. Code chatsports gets you 20% off. It's an effortless style, which I appreciate. They're not trying to do anything crazy with their clothing, but you look good, you feel good, and that's the most important thing. And machine washable clothing, so you're going to save money in the long run as well by not having to go to the dry cleaners. Get 20% off right now at Rhone.com/chatsports. Code chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. Code chatsports for 20% off. Link and promo code in the comments and description of this video. Okay, number 2. He's throwing the ball with authority. And what I mean there is not just that he's throwing the fastball, like we knew he had a strong arm, but he's not hesitating. He's willing to attack the middle of the field and throw into tight windows. And in this league, you got to have a quarterback who can do that. He had 5 big-time throws against the Vikings per PFF. That's either most in the league this week or tied for the most. We haven't gotten all the data from all the games yet, but it's either tied for first or it's the most. And how many throws yesterday when you're watching, you're like, yeah, that's big time. And it's kind of a loose definition from PFF, but it's kind of a you know it when you see it, like the DeAndre Swift play. That's not really a throwing with authority. That's more of a backyard play where he scrambles right and lofts it 35 yards in the air down the sideline right in stride. That's just a special play, but he's ripping the ball to Keenan up the seam a couple of times. He's finding Rome Odunze over the middle. The throw to DJ Moore to get you into field goal range after you get the onside kick. I mean, protection holds up, he steps up, and that's such a unique throw because he throws a fastball, but he's still able to layer it over defenders into that window. I mean, not many quarterbacks can throw it on a line like that, but still layer it, if that makes sense. His ability to attack the middle of the field is what's going to separate him from other quarterbacks we've seen come through here in Chicago, and quite frankly, a lot of quarterbacks in this league. Not many quarterbacks feel comfortable consistently attacking the middle of the field. He's been doing that. We saw it at times earlier in the year. We've definitely seen it the last couple of weeks, especially on Sunday against Minnesota. And when you complete those balls into tight windows over the middle, it just opens everything else up. So the confidence he's throwing the ball with to all areas of the field, but especially the middle, it's really encouraging to see. Okay, number 3, he's shredding the blitz, an area he struggled with early in the year, which not to be unexpected, right? Earlier in the year, I mean, you're a rookie quarterback, you're seeing all kinds of stuff. It's a different deal. This ain't college football anymore. Like DeMeco Ryans made him look like a rookie in week 2. But in the last 2 games against the blitz, again, these numbers per PFF, adjusted completion percentage, 86.2%. You see the yards, 4 big-time throws against the blitz, 0 turnover-worthy plays. So basically the last 2 weeks, if you blitz them, you get shredded. I mean, that's what's happened. And I'll give Brian Flores credit. We'll talk about him in a second because Caleb passed that test. But in that overtime when Caleb took that sack, he bluff blitz, dropped 8 into coverage, and Caleb held the ball too long and took a sack. That was a great call by Flores, a good counterpunch because he had been getting shredded against his blitz all day because Caleb's been very decisive. He's finding the hots, he's finding the matchups, he's getting the ball out. I haven't checked the number in terms of time to throw this week, but last week it was his lowest of the season in terms of snap to getting rid of the ball. I think it was 2.42 seconds last week. I would imagine it's in that range this week as well. Quick decisions. I think a lot of that is just identifying pre-snap what you're seeing. I think we saw at the end of the Packers game when he identified the 7-man rush, pre-snap, set the protection, hits Keenan Allen on the out. Of course, the field goal got blocked. We know how that ended, but that's high-level quarterback play. That's playing at a top 10 level type of stuff. Again, a couple weeks here, not acting like he's an MVP candidate or something like that, but the last 2 weeks, you've seen the full arsenal, the pre-snap recognition, making the different throws, throwing with authority, playing free, knowing when to go into backyard Superman type of mode, and that's awesome. I mean, that's growth, that's development, things you really, really like to see. All right, number 4, he passed the Brian Flores test, and not many people do. This is a defensive coordinator that does a lot of exotic blitzing, shows you different looks. He's kind of the opposite of Eberflus, not to drag Eberflus down into this, but he will blitz a lot, but it's a different look every time. He really mixes it up with what he's trying to do, and Caleb just torched him. He really did. 340, couple touchdowns, QB rating over 103. Scrambled a couple times when he needed to. And by the way, missed a couple throws. I mean, this really could have been like 35, 36. There was also 4 or 5 drops. I mean, Cole Kmet drops a critical third down. Keenan's toe is out of bounds on the one. Like this really could have been like a 400-yard day. It really could have. It was very close to being that. And this is the second best passer rating for any quarterback against Flores this year. I think Stafford torched him pretty good for like a 120 QB rating, but Caleb's was the second best. And I think you just watched yesterday, you're like, yeah, like Caleb won that chess match for most of the game. Again, Flores got him in the overtime. Kudos. But fourth quarter, 17 points to get that game to overtime. He did really, really well. And then lastly, he's still missing some, but the downfield accuracy is improving. I think just with the confidence growing, you're seeing that now. He airmailed Rome on one in the second half that really wasn't that close. I think he gets a little amped up sometimes. His miss is definitely high. That'll be an area he needs to clean up on, but you're seeing him hit more downfield throws. I know Keenan's toe was out of bounds on the one. That's a beautiful back shoulder throw to the left sideline where only Keenan Allen can make the play. We talked about the seam shots over the middle. Like, he's throwing the ball much better downfield than he was even 3-4 weeks ago. So it's been better. That's encouraging. His quarterback play as a whole the last 2 weeks, that's a franchise quarterback. That's high level quarterback play, and it's unfortunate they're 0-2. And again, I've done plenty of videos of the shortcomings of Matt Eberflus and coaching and just mistakes that this team continues to make, and we'll continue to react to all that stuff. But I did want to just do this video this morning of like, hey, we have a quarterback. The question is, can all the other stuff get better? Can you get the right coach? Can you get a winning culture with these players? Because these guys, they're used to losing. That's got to get turned around. So I feel good about 18. If you're all in on Caleb Williams like I am, type 18 in the comments down below, because I have no worries about him. It's the other stuff. Can this franchise get out of its own way, for a lack of a better phrase, because it seems like they consistently do that. But I feel different here where, I think Caleb can overcome some of the chaos that tends to go on in this organization. I don't think he can overcome all of it. We've seen that the last couple of weeks, that with awful coaching, that could still drag down the end result. But if you get a competent coach in here, I really do think this thing can go in a good direction. You could be really good for 10 or 15 years. So it's up to the Bears now. Caleb's doing his part. He's the guy. Can the Bears do their part? That remains to be seen. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Chicago Bears Now. Again, we'll be live this afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time. Get you ready for a little Thanksgiving football as the Bears take on the Lions on Thursday. We'll see you guys in a few hours. Bear down.